Hello, my name is Triff Dorin-Gheorghe, and it's my pleasure to briefly present the paper Associations between Job Satisfaction and Dimensions of Work Motivation and Burnout in Pre-University Education Workers. Introduction. In the educational environment, the quality of the learning process, the performance of employees, depends primarily on their involvement, their motivation in the educational process. It is known that burnout can lead to a decrease in workers' performance. A good job satisfaction of workers stimulates their motivation and involvement in obtaining good results. In psychology, the theory of self-determination shows that well-being and performance are greater when individuals' actions are guided not so much by external factors but by will and pleasure, through the so-called intrinsic motivation. The individual pursues his fundamental needs for autonomy, competence, and relationships, having the following ways of regulating motivation. Amotivation, which shows the lack of any motivational impulse. Extrinsic motivation, in which actions pursue a material reward or social recognition. Control motivation, or regulated by introjection, the individual assimilates rules and values and obeys them because they consider them important, even though they do not necessarily belong to their own value system. Motivation regulated by identification, in which the individual's actions have personal significance and value. Intrinsic motivation, in which the individual's actions are performed with joy, passion, and interest. Although for teacher the teaching activity is considered a vocational one, through intrinsic motivation, external factors such as social and material have an important role in maintaining motivation and involvement in the profession in long term. It is important to know if there are associations between certain dimensions of motivation and those of job satisfaction, as well as between this and burnout syndrome. Well-motivated teachers can increase the quality of educational act and the performance and school efficiency of students. Material and methods. During the medical checkup of workers from 3 school units, a high school, a middle school, and a kindergarten, all located in urban areas, we offered a voluntary questionnaire that monitored, along with the social demographic variables, age, length of employment in the school, biological gender, type of residence, the types of motivation of workers at work, types of job satisfaction, as well as the presence of burnout in them. Workers' motivation at work was evaluated through the multidimensional work motivation scale. Burnout syndrome was assessed in workers using the Oldenburg Burnout Inventory. The job satisfaction survey tracks the following types of satisfaction, namely pay, promotion, supervision, fringe benefits, contingent rewards, operating conditions, co-workers, nature of work, communication. The distribution of the number of workers and respondents in each school is as follows. In school number 1, there are 89 employees with 76 respondents. In school number 2, out of 37 employees, there were 18 respondents. In school number 3, with 58 employees, presented 47 respondents. Respondents are predominantly female in all 3 schools. Table 1. The average length of experience at the current job between 5 and 13 years shows a good professional experience as well as stability of these workers at the current job. Low average burnout levels for the total score as well as the 2 subdimensions are present in workers from 3 schools. Workers from 3 schools have higher scores on intrinsic motivation and identify regulation, while also achieving the lowest scores on amotivation. The scores on introjected regulation are apparently higher due to the fact that this scales has 4 items compared to the others which only have 3 items. The highest scores are obtained for satisfaction with supervision, natures of works, co-workers, communication, and the lowest value for operating condition. There are numerous different correlations between the studied variables depending on the school unit. There are also correlations present similar in all 3 school units that show the generalizability of these results. In all 3 schools, the following similar correlations are remarkably observed between the following variables. Intrinsic motivation correlates positively with satisfaction with pay and with satisfaction with fringe benefits. Motivation correlates negatively with job satisfaction survey scale score. Burnout score correlates positively with satisfaction with co-workers and with satisfaction with communication. For school workers, low-medium levels of burnout are associated positively with satisfaction with co-workers and satisfaction with communication. Conclusions. The concordant values obtained in all 3 schools show a general character of these results. Satisfaction with supervision, nature of works, co-workers, and communication, being the most important dimension or modalities of job satisfaction, show a vocational occupational environment and good communication with colleagues and superiors. The fact that operating condition has the lowest value supports the importance of involving decision makers from society in improving and creating better working conditions for obtaining performance from workers in the Educational Act. The similar values obtained in all 3 schools shows the generalization characteristic of such a result. For school workers, low-medium levels of burnout are associated positively with satisfaction with co-workers and satisfaction with communication. In schools, workers who have higher levels of job satisfaction in terms of satisfaction in collaboration with other employees and communication with other actors in the Educational Act achieve higher levels of burnout syndrome score. The relationship is bidirectional. Workers with higher levels of burnout score present greater job satisfaction in terms of collaboration with other employees and communication with participants in Educational Act. The school occupational environment, being one in which communication as well as social interrelations represents the environment and also the object of the work involvement, good communication and collaboration with other actors of the Educational Act in school manifest themselves in the initial stage of the burnout syndrome. Lack of motivation at work is bidirectionally associated with a decrease in employee job satisfaction.